Okay, so I'm gonna tell y'all a story. So back in chemistry, when we were talking about nuclear power versus like coal, someone in my class, I can't remember who it was because I honestly don't give a shit about most people in my class, but it was someone. They were like, coal. They said something about nuclear waste being safer. I was like, okay, yeah, technically your point is true. It is ultimately better. But most people, because if a nuclear thing melts down, we're fucked. I remember cursing, and my teacher, Miss Skylar, just looked at me like, what the fuck? And she called me out on it. I'm like, okay, yeah, hold on. I'm sorry, I swore. But I am about to get really passionate, and I almost had really fucking passionate, but I tripped myself. Pardon any swear words that happened. Just let me go off. Please, I promise you will be fine. She's like, okay, sure, whatever. Because she knows that when I get all my teachers, because I directly tell them this within like the first few days, like, hey, if you ever see me cursing a lot, like, if you hear me cursing, and I look like I'm crazy, I'm about to start a tangent. Just let it happen. Don't bother stopping the tangent, because I need to go on a tangent. It is for my own mental health. Let me go crazy for a few minutes, so it'll be fine. So she's like, okay, sure, whatever. And I go off, and I was like, okay, yeah, here's the thing. Nuclear waste is ultimately more short-term destructive. Like, if a meltdown happens, we're fucked. But like, most of us also don't care that much about coal. Why? Because it doesn't personally affect us. It doesn't, we don't care. We don't care that the ice caps are melting, we don't care that polar bears are dying. Why? Because we're not polar bears. If we were polar bears, we would at least try to do something. But we're not. We don't see that change happening, so we don't give a shit. And we don't give a shit, even though there's fucking plastic goddamn everywhere. Like, for instance, not when this lesson was happening. Today, we got like a shit ton. We ordered like a food thing, and everything wasn't things we couldn't recycle. Maybe one thing was recycled, but it was the overall box everything came in. But each individual meal, which was like 5 meals, was individually wrapped. And the peppers and like each individual ingredient was also wrapped, despite the fact that it could easily be fine without the wrap. Yes, I know you want to categorize each meal, so people don't put like peppers in with hot sauce. That wouldn't taste too good. But you could use maybe, like, I know this is, I always forget what it is, but you pot plants in it, and it's like grass release, so it looks like hay. You could use that, or perhaps, if you absolutely are insisting on using plastic for some bullshit reason, you could perhaps put just like the ingredients, not package wrapped, just put the ingredients in, and be like, hey, here's meal 1, meal 2, whatever. But here's the other thing, for instance, the butters. Instead of being like, hey, you need this much butter, they give us the little tiny like restaurant things of butter. I don't understand that. Okay, so back to the past tangent. Like, most of us aren't affected by plastic because we don't give a shit. We don't know that's just how indegradable it is. It is not biodegradable at all. We can't. At best, mind you, at best, it just gets broken down into smaller pieces. Miss Skylar taught us this. She was shocked I remember it because I have dory level of memory. I can't remember shit unless I'm passionate about it. She gave me like a little quick applause. I'm like, thank you. At best it breaks down, and keep in mind this is at best, it breaks down. But keep in mind then fishies can eat it. The fish eat the plastic. Then the big boy fish eats the plastic like sharks. Sharks would eat the plastic. And in some cultures, you eat the shark. Humans eat sharks. So you are also now eating a plastic riddled shark. Now not only are you not getting a nice big hunky boy of meat, you're also eating plastic. But keep in mind, this is not biodegradable in the human body. Not even the stomach acid can deal with it. And Miss Guy was like, technically you're correct on that sentiment. Like, again, at best, yeah. Then, the stomach acid would probably just break down even more, but not even, like, actually break down, just making it smaller and smaller. So, at best, our stomach acid would do the most damage. But not really. Like, we're still fucked. So then, I continued. Then what happens? We ship out the plastic. Then goes to the decomposers. We also just finished learning about the food chain. She was shocked again. I still remembered all this. Then it goes to the decomposers. they then eat the plastic. And I remember Jesse saying, I don't remember what they do with whatever the fuck we do. So, they do something, they get returned to the soil. The trees who use the soil to do nice leaving, and then have to deal with the plastic, which then clogs up their nice roots so they can't take in as much water. Thus, the trees are getting smaller. Thus, they do less, photosynthesis. Thus, they release less carbon dioxide, or they release less oxygen. Thus, we can't deal with enough oxygen. Thus, we have too much carbon dioxide. Thus, the planet is warming up. It's an infinite cycle, y'all. We need to do some shit about this. And also, this video is already way too long. I'm going on another fucking tangent. So then, actually, it was earlier in the day, but as you know, it was the next day. So in civics, maybe human rights, I never remember, but we'll assume it's civics. In civics, fun fact, I have a really slow time packing up in any class. Mainly civics also, because I'm very forgetful. That's like teachers. He's smart and he has a big boy beard, so yeah. So I was packing up and he was like, and we were talking about something, we were talking about human rights that day, I'm starting to think it's a human rights class, but regardless. We're talking up as we pack up because he knows I pack up much quicker when I'm talking because I will barely know I'm packing up and but I'll also be packing up quicker. So he's like, yeah. I was like, thinking about this. And I was like, hey, I had a tangent a couple days back about how coal is bad for us in plastic. And he's like, yeah, I know you. You definitely had that tangent. I was like, I know I didn't have it with you. I mean, I might have. But I didn't have a tangent with Skylar. He's like, yeah. She may have casually mentioned it. And come on, there were two different sectors. Brunel's teaches, he's in the history section, which is technically on the same side as the science, but their desks, I think you think they're on the opposite sides, but diagonally, so he would have to walk pretty fucking far, but they may park next to each other. I don't know what happened, but he's like, yeah, she briefly mentioned how you go on tangents a lot, and actually, here's my part. He's actually known me longer because he subbed in for my GSA classes. In my classes, I mean, the club after school, because I couldn't attend because they had a meeting. Anyway, so he's like, yeah, I warned basically all your teachers about you and about how, and I was like, oh God, what do you mean? And okay, and he's like, no, I didn't want to out you, but I did tell them that if you do the crazy eyes, these eyes, and you start cursing a lot, hey, just let them go off. It's okay. I mean, you're not gonna be able to understand a goddamn word they're saying, but for your own sanity and mainly theirs, because if you try to silence them, it won't work on them. You cannot make them shut up. It's impossible for them. They are incapable of shutting up. So just let them go off. Well, thank you. Also, it's way too true. Anyway, so go back on the tangent of, okay, what's my point? Ultimately saving the environment, but you risk losing momentum on, say, Black Lives Matter. I remember saying, he knows I am very anti-racist. I am very, I'm basically as liberal as they fucking get. In fact, the only area where I might be conservative is fiscal conservativity, because I haven't made up my mind on that, so I don't know. I don't know what my economic policy stance is. I just know socially I'm very fucking liberal. So anyway, so I was like, yeah, well, ultimately human rights are fucking human rights, and we need to secure them for as many groups as we fucking can. If we don't have a planet to fucking live on, there's no way to ensure those human rights. So, I remember him saying, see, that sounds like something you would say, but at the same time it doesn't. You're one of my most liberal kids. I'm like, yes, thank you. But if you to prioritize something else over human rights, it's kind of shocking. I'm like, yes, I get that a lot. And he's like, why though? I'm like, it just makes some fucking sense to me. That hey, if we let the planet go to shit, which fun fact, we actually are, we're letting it go to shit now. I think we're about to hit the point where we're fucked. We may have already passed it to the point where now we can't stop it, we just can just stabilize the shit. But we can't actually make it get better, we can just stabilize the shit. So yeah, it's also doing the thing where it's raining from the trees, but it's not actually raining. The rainwater is just falling off after. Is it raining? I don't know. I'm about to check a patch where there's no trees. Hold on a sec. But yeah, I remember saying, yeah, we need to ensure human rights. And then, once we at least get a majority of human rights, or once we ensure that the planet's remotely fine, or this won't be fucked for the next couple of generations, then human rights. I mean, we can handle both at the same time, because obviously, you know, bigots still fucking exist. And come on, this bud's also quite liberal. Also, fun fact, he's a millennial. Also, fun fact, technically my brother is also a millennial. He's technically in that weird limbo land, because 1995 is when I consider the Zoomer age to start. But technically he's a millennial somehow. I don't fucking understand. But regardless, that. Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna be able to upload this to TikTok. It's 10 fucking minutes. So yeah, this is now to go on my YouTube. But regardless, yeah. Save the fucking planet and save some black lives, because black lives do in fact fucking matter.